What is up, guys? Today is the day for drift event number 2. Took this thing out there about a month ago now. I think I did pretty good for my first time out there. Definitely a lot of room for improvement, but since that event we have gotten some fresh tires on the spares. I also kind of realized that I don't need to bring as many tires as I did before. I didn't really know what to expect, so it's cool to know that I can probably get 2 events off of one set, so just those spares is all I'm bringing. Since that event as well, we did get a MagnaFlow muffler installed. The engine is completely stock, and I was having a hard time hearing kind of where my RPMs are, you know, because when you're on track, you're not really looking at the tachometer. You're kind of just relying on what you feel and what you hear to make decisions. And I couldn't hear the RPMs at all or what the engine was doing, so it kind of made it hard to know when I needed a clutch kick. So that exhaust is in. That should make it a lot easier when I'm driving around the track, kind of hear what the engine's doing. Another thing that I did do was I fixed my valve cover leak. And at first I thought it was just the gasket. You know, 99% of the time that's what it is. And it turns out my old valve cover had actually cracked. It had cracked from right back there, and that was the reason there was all that kind of oil spilling over. So I got a new aluminum one on there. Really not the biggest fan of it. I was just kind of in a time crunch, and the other options weren't available that quick, or they were just a lot more expensive than what I want to install in this car. But it looks all right. Took some cleaning up. There were some metal shavings when it came, so that's all done. I also did plugs while I was in there. So yeah, mechanically she's good to go again. Did a bolt check today. Everything checked out. I think she's ready to go. Got my spare tools up here. Charged up this wrench. That's done. Yeah, so I'm gonna slap these in the car and I will head down to the track. So I didn't do too much filming at the drift event. I do have a couple clips from some media at the track as well as my passenger that I had. So I'll make sure to include that all right here.
Third gear. Cadillac trying to stay out front.
Reason I really didn't go in too depth filming wise, I did have a spin and I went across some rumble strips and I ended up breaking my first part on this car. You can see I have a missing lug bolt, and at the track spun out, went over the rumble strips, and I did get a little bit of damage on this wheel. I ripped the threads out of the hub, so I am missing now one lug bolt. It also kind of messed up the alignment a little bit, and after that I wasn't really feeling it. I did kind of go do some laps and the car still felt good, so I put down maybe another 10 or 15 laps after that. But yeah, I just decided just to learn, try not focus on filming, try not to mess up the car any more than I already did. So with that, it will need a new hub, which is what we have right here. I have a new dust cover, new nut, as well as a new hub assembly. So this video that was supposed to be a drifting video is now turning into a fix the drift car video. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing jacked up, take that wheel off, and get a better look at how the hub looks. All right, I got the brake caliper hanging up. I do notice some rubbing, and this might be a reason where I need to find different tires here pretty soon, or different wheels, because it seems like that lock, these are grabbing on the subframe there and on the body, but I can address that later. It's not too bad. But you can see here what we're working with and why I need to replace the hub. The threads have completely left. I've never seen anything like that. So I'm gonna take this rotor off and get a better look at the hub. All right, got the old dust cover off and pop this little tab out off of the nut. This is where I do have to call it for today, because I do not have this nut and it is not readily available. I mean, I went to Home Depot, Harbor Freight, AutoZone, O'Reilly, and nobody has a 46mm nut. So I got it as far as I can, but there's nothing I can really do beyond that. It's the next day. It is here. Nobody carries this, so if you do ever end up needing to do this job, just order this on FCP Aero with the bearing. Here it is. And we're gonna set this up and give it a shot. Look at that. Perfect. That's turning. Oh God. Okay, we got it. Yeah, that thing was fucking on there. It looks like this has already been replaced at some point. I just had to go and break it. Also showing up today, I do have some wheel studs and spacers that I'm going to be installing. Wheel studs should prevent lug bolts from snapping out. Spacers should help with some clearance. I also ordered some SLR rack limiters that I'm going to throw on, so that way we don't have any problems. I can use as much angle as I have out of the car without smashing my wheel into the frame. Didn't know that was a thing. I made a post about it yesterday, and it turns out it is very common. So I'm also going to be getting that taken care of while I'm doing all this, because I think this might be caused because I'm spitting out from that. So one thing at a time. So I was going to use this gear puller. I went and bought these yesterday after watching a video on how to do this. And I had it all set up, and I barely even started twisting it, and this just comes right out. Maybe I'll return those, get 20 bucks back. But yeah, here's the old assembly. I mean, it looked honestly pretty good. I think it was replaced because the bearing name on this is the same as the one that I'm going to throw in there. Are you serious? It was that easy? Guys, I cannot believe how easy this is. That's ridiculous. This should not be this easy. One more for good measure. Alright. That feels nice and tight. Alright, it's on. Honestly, the hardest part is staking the nut It's folding the little tabs into there so it doesn't back out. It's not beautiful at all, but just folded the tabs in so that way the nut can't unscrew itself, and it'll work. I'm gonna go ahead and get the dust cover on, and then that's it. I'm just gonna leave the car like this until I get the wheel stud kit that I ordered, so that way I can install those as well. So it's the next day after installing the new wheel hub and bearing, and I got in our stud conversion kit. So hopefully this prevents snapping out the lug bolts. And I also got a 10 mil spacer, which I will install. I'm trying to avoid these this clearance issue, and I think this is what has been causing me to spin. I also think this is kind of why that bolt snapped out. It really looks like this is grabbing the wheel pretty heavily and, you know, just shocking it. So I went ahead, put some thread lock on our first stud, and then I will work this in. And then FCP recommends to do the double nut method. Yeah, what I'll do, put our first lug nut on backwards. Just like that. Then I will put this one on and jam them together. Got my little spacer on, got the studs in. Yeah, I think this is gonna work. This should prevent us from having those kind of violent spin outs, from breaking more wheel hubs, and from gouging my tire into the frame. So let's hope that this is a worthwhile upgrade. Alright, so all the wheel studs are now on, and I'm finding I'm definitely going to have to raise this up. So when I take it to go in alignment, I'll definitely have them take a look and raise the front suspension up maybe ½ an inch to an inch. It'll also get rid of the rake. I mean, you can see the car is lower in the front than it is in the rear, so by raising that up a little bit, I'll get some more clearance. And it'll also make the car nice and level front to back, so it doesn't look like it's leaning forward like it is now. Don't have the rack limiters in yet, so that's another thing I'm hoping that I can have done at the alignment shop. I did get, mind the fan noise, it is 112 degrees in Phoenix right now. Got a new steering rack boot. The one that's on there is torn, so when they're doing the new rack limiters, I'll have them go ahead and check this on as well, since they're going to be in there. So it's going to do it for this one. Hope to post our next drift event soon, and yeah, thanks for watching.